Welcome back. The Hope Program's Cool Roof Initiative work towards a greener New York City. Here to talk to us about the program and the possibility of an eco-friendly Bronx is Executive Director for the Hope Program, Jennifer Mitchell. Jennifer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's so great to be here.
So, can you first just start off by telling us more about your organization?
Sure, I would love to. So, I am the executive director of the Hope Program. And the Hope Program is a nearly 40-year-old nonprofit. We operate serving folks in all five boroughs. I mean, we have program sites in Brooklyn and in, of course, the Bronx. And what we do is we give folks who are unemployed and struggling to get back into the workforce for a variety of reasons. The tools and the skills and the training and the network and the confidence they need to get back into the workforce, and not only get back into the workforce, but keep a job and build a career. We have a saying at Hope: when you're hope for life. And what that means is we stick with people well after their first job to help them navigate the struggles and challenges that come with keeping that job and building a career. We also celebrate all the good things that happen: the promotions, the wage gains, the contributing to their community and their family. And so we're really proud of the work we do at Hope. And I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about one of our 6 programs, the Cool Roofs program.
Okay, so I'm really excited to talk about the Cool Roofs program, but before we do that, can you just tell me why workforce development programs are so important in the Bronx?
Sure. And it's a great question. So, the Hope program, as I said, has a nearly 40-year track record of doing this work. And about 7 years ago, we expanded to have a program site in the Bronx through a partnership with a nonprofit that has its roots in the Bronx, Sustainable South Bronx. And Sustainable South Bronx was started nearly 2 decades ago to address the environmental justice inequities in the Bronx, and really found that the most kind of valuable and positive thing you can do is train local people so that they are able to solve local problems while earning a living and contributing to their family and putting food on the table. And so here we are, 2021. Coming out of, or hopefully coming out of, a global pandemic. And we are faced with 2 very interesting things. There are local employers in desperate need of great, well-trained employees, and there is mass unemployment and lots of people struggling and not earning the income they need. And so that's where Hope comes in, and that's where other workforce development organizations come in too. What we do is we make those links, right? And so at Hope, all of our programs aim to give folks that skill, that network, that confidence, and the hard skills as well, the certifications they need to get those jobs and fill those jobs. And often the people we serve who are coming to us, with maybe histories of incarceration or histories of substance abuse or low educational attainment levels or struggles with mental health issues or past traumas, they don't have the access or the skill set to navigate how to get those jobs that are available. And then those employers don't know about this like amazing source of hardworking, well-trained, well-skilled labor. And so what Hope does is we make those links and make those connections so that employers have great labor and people living in the Bronx and Brooklyn and all the rest of the boroughs have access to well-paying, high-road jobs.
So, thank you so much for that. I think one of your really cool programs that I recently just learned about is your Cool Roofs program. So, can you first start off just talking about what is a cool roof and how did that initiative begin?
Sure. So Hope, in partnership with Sustainable South Bronx and New York City Small Business Services, has been doing the Cool Roofs program for nearly 7 years. And Cool Roofs program in New York City has been in existence for over a decade now. And what it is, it's a program that aims to make New York City, which experiences what's called the urban heat island effect. So it gets very, very hot. New York City has a lot of blacktop and very little vegetation. And so, you hear about other things like solar installations and green rooftops, and all those are really important too. But almost the easiest or most simple way to address the urban heat island effect is by painting rooftops with this thick silicone paint that's white. And if you paint, yeah, you can see the picture right there. If you paint the rooftops white, instead of absorbing the heat and making both the city and the buildings that are absorbing the heat hotter, they're actually reflecting the heat and making the buildings themselves more energy efficient and the city itself cooler.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. So that's the process, just painting it white with a special paint. You paint your roof white.
It's
Is
a
this
special.
something is this something that people can do at home themselves?
So it probably is. I don't actually know like if the paint is available in like your local hardware shop, but certainly we could find that out and circle back. But people, even if people don't use this special paint, if somebody wanted to paint their rooftop white, it would have an impact. The paint we use is special and has been proven. I mean, it's really cool when we're out on those rooftops. Our crew can take the temperature of the rooftop with like no coating on it, and then take the temperature of the rooftop just when we even have one coating of paints on it and see a huge temperature difference. And every rooftop we do gets two really thick layers of coating on it.
So I understand that there also may be like an eligibility requirement for certain buildings. How do you know what building is right for this type of project?
So we do the Cool Roofs program in partnership with New York City Small Business Services. So it's an environmental program making New York City more energy efficient and cooler. And it is also a workforce development program. And as a workforce development program, every year we hire 70 unemployed individuals who are looking to get back into the workforce and are interested in energy efficiency or interested in construction or interested in getting skills in those related fields. And we put them to work and they work 10 weeks, 30 hours a week, for $15 an hour. And at the same time they're working, they're also getting the skills they need to get back into the workforce. In our contract with New York City Small Business Services, we can provide this service for free to any building that's a nonprofit or affordable housing provider. Then, in addition, we recently this year got a grant from the United States Environmental Protection Agency, which allowed us to expand and offer those services for free to buildings in Hunts Point specifically that are industrial, because that can really make a big difference. And then other buildings in the city that are interested in this service, we can do for low cost. We can provide the labor for free, but the building needs to purchase the paint and everything. And we help coordinate that all the time. And then to figure out if a building is actually eligible for this, we send out our team during our off season. You can only paint roofs cool between April and October, because if it gets too cold, the paint won't work. It'll freeze. And so in that off season is when we go out and inspect rooftops and figure out which roofs are safe, which roofs would benefit from it, and all of that sort of stuff. So if somebody's interested in having their rooftop evaluated for a cool roof, later in the show, we'll give contact information and folks can find out, and we can send one of our crew members out to assess.
So I'm super curious to understand the science behind that. And I just want to know, like, how does this make things more eco-friendly?
Yeah. So if you just think about just like yourself, if you are wearing like a really dark top on a really hot day, you're absorbing the heat more. But if you go and you put on really like a light colored one, the heat gets reflected more. If you're in a car that's a really dark color, you're going to absorb the heat more. And well, lighter colored cars reflect the heat. So the same is true on rooftops in New York City. And so it's really about the sun getting reflected instead of getting absorbed onto the rooftop.
And can you tell us the importance of just introducing, something as sustainable like this to the Bronx?
So the Bronx is one of the most kind of industrial heavy has many more industrial heavy neighborhoods than some of the other boroughs. And so there's a lot of rooftops that you can have an impact on. And so with the urban heat island effect, the more rooftops that you paint with this special white coating, the more energy efficient buildings become. And then also the more energy efficient those neighborhoods become. Also important in the Bronx is because many of the folks we serve through this program and all of our other programs get, in this program, it's transitional employment. So they're getting paid while they're earning these skills and contributing to making their borough more energy efficient. And so, yeah, it's kind of, I think of this program as a win-win-win. It's a win for the people living in the buildings and for the climate. It's a win for the people participating because they're gaining skills and earning money at the same time. And then it's a win for the employers at the end of the day who get these amazing, hardworking, inspirational, knowledgeable individuals to fill the jobs that they need.
So, how can viewers get involved and then learn more about the HOPE program?
Great. So we will put up, I think, the information, but we have a website, www.thehopeprogram.org. We also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Twitter page. Oh, and LinkedIn also. So lots of ways to follow us and get involved. We are always looking for new participants into our programs. We're always looking for employer partners. We're always looking for building owners who are interested in learning about cool roofs to the rooftop. And we're always looking for volunteers and partners and donors and funders. So lots of things to do at Hope, lots of work to be done to make this world and this city more environmental friendly and energy efficient, and lots of people who need the training and skills to get jobs. So please join us in this mission. I think Hope's future is bright, and we'd love to have more people as part of it.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. This was great.
We'll be right back with more Open BXRX Tuesday.